Got some real-time dumpster dive action for you. This is a little route I call Main Street. It goes through a little town. It butts up against two bigger towns. It's Sunday. Quarter to 5. So most of these places should be empty. I don't mean the dumpsters empty, I mean the businesses and stuff. Shouldn't be anybody around for the most part. Boy, that's just a piece of plaster. That didn't work. I kind of been thinking lately about the way I do this dumpster dive. When I started making these videos, I was kind of a grizzled, seasoned veteran. I really can't recommend anyone climbing and jumping on these things. They actually are dangerous. I'm just so used to doing it. You know, it's like if you climbed a mountain for 10 years, you would know how to protect yourself in every situation and stuff. So actually getting up on these things is real dangerous. If you do something like this, I would recommend getting a stick with a hook. Scrap and Pallet Man has some little Batman devices. I think he's got like a telescoping hook and whatnot. He'd be the guy to talk to about something like that. Get you some grabber tools and whatnot. These little chunks I'm pulling on here are usually aluminum. These are looking like brass though. I'm too busy talking to pay attention to what they might be. Let's see. That was kind of tight. Oh, it's frozen on there. Let's see what it is anyway. It's actually aluminum. See how it's silver, not yellow in there. Anyways, that one's frozen. But those are nice little chunks. What else are we dealing with? Also, I've been thinking, you know, I really don't want to portray this as, you know, you just have the right to come onto someone's property and do all this. The bottom line is, this is someone else's property. Even though it's public domain or whatnot. Morally, there's nothing wrong with it, and if you just don't cause trouble and don't make yourself a nuisance, if you're just not making trouble with other humans, morally, I mean, it's no big deal, you know. if you're not doing anything wrong and you're not bothering anybody. I really don't care what the law says, you know. Morally is what I care about. You know, gleaning has been going on since recorded history, and it's always been an acceptable thing in societies, as long as you're within your morals, you know. But I don't want to portray this as, you know, these property owners. They'll tell you to get out of here. I mean, don't get me wrong about that. It is someone else's property, you know. So don't ever doubt that, you know. I'll always listen to them people, you know. Just get out of there. And you can definitely, I know I've said this in previous videos, but you can definitely work yourself into getting a no trespassing, you know, or trespassing. You could get disorderly conduct, and just, it's just the golden rule: be polite and leave. That's what should keep you safe. Because as long as you follow that, then it's kind of on the other person's head if you're in a moral right, you know. And if you do, if you happen to do get arrested or to get a ticket, just don't, I mean, just still be polite, you know. Who cares if you get $150, $200 ticket, you know? I could go out tomorrow and probably make that much money if I worked 16 hours, you know, so. If that were to happen, just let them write you the ticket, you know. Don't even argue about it. Just talk to the judge, you know. There's probably something you can do about it. For whatever reason, these dumpsters right here can be pretty surprising sometimes. I'm not sure if it's people that rent cars might be dumping stuff or something. So it's a little unmarked warehouse. This car, hi Pooch. Oh yeah, these car detail shops can have some neat stuff in them. Usually pretty productive in one way or the other. You got a big bark. Hi, Pooch. I see you, I see you tail wagging. Can't fool me. What was that? I don't know if that's actually garbage or not. Hey, it's a safe, you know what? Shoot, look at that. Big iron safe. Funky restaurant garbage. That's a drop box of some sort. Look at that. Oh my goodness, that's a good 200 pounds, I bet. Maybe 150. Oh, it's a big dog. And 2 people to get that in the truck. It's gonna be a nice piece for somebody. I bet it sits there a long time. Some aluminum wheels and a, hold on a second. Stainless steel make line, aluminum rim. See, if you see something like this, you go inside and talk to the owner and see if you could take it off his hands. Even stuff like this, you might offer him a little money, you know. If you're interested in making money scrapping, this would be the way to do it. Now, even if you just went out dumpster diving, the people you run into, talk to them and try to make contacts. You know, you might make lifelong contacts with restaurant owners and people that own businesses. If you're interested in just scrap metal, that's what you want to do. I guess that's kind of what it boils down to. It's too bad that everybody just doesn't know the difference between right and wrong, you know. If everybody just knew the difference between right and wrong, we wouldn't even need stupid laws, you know. And also, you know, for anyone out there that sees someone doing what I'm doing right here, if you know, there's a lot of people out there that probably look down on this activity and think the person is just, you know, just, I mean, whatever judgments people can make, you know, that might come along with seeing someone digging in the trash. Don't fool yourself. The next person you see digging in the trash very well might make your yearly salary next weekend. So don't hold off on your judgments on trash picking and dumpster diving. There are some people out there that, whether they know it or not, might be living in an area where you could just clean up, man. I mean, you could just make serious bank. Those Christmas trees are just tin. Lots of times I'll pass them up. I usually pass stuff like that up now. I don't know if someone might be able to use it or not. But if I'm not finding much, I'll start taking this tin just to make it at least profitable. But with that being said, you know, some of you might live in an area where you really can't make that much. Like where I live, those big retail stores, they don't hardly throw away anything. I mean, and if they do, they usually damage it. So that's kind of, you know, if I had some stores around here that threw away sellable stuff, I mean, shoot, I could, if I really worked hard, I could do 6 figures every year, you know. I could probably do that now if I really wanted to, you know. Just starting out when I had no idea what I was doing, that wasn't possible. But now that YouTube's around, people can learn what I learned in a matter of a week or two watching these videos. You know, what I learned in 10 years, someone that knows nothing, they could learn everything I learned in 10 years in about 2 or 3 weeks, just watching these YouTube videos about dumpster diving and scrapping. Get the question how much money I make, or how much money they think they can make, or if I do it for a living, or if I think they could do it for a living. And I can't speak for anyone else what they can do. I don't know them. I don't know where they live. But it just depends. If you want to go out and bust your hump for 16 hours a day, you can do that. You know, this is something you can do that. If you get ahead of the game, you might be able to go out for a couple hours a day, you know. I have to say, if you get a YouTube channel is scalable. You can make a lot of money after a few years if you have the luxury of putting time into a YouTube channel. I say luxury. I mean, not luxury, but it's not really a good word. But if you have to have some time, and it's kind of a hard thing to do for a lot of people, I would imagine. because most YouTube channels just aren't that successful right off the bat. Some are, some people become millionaires right off the bat, you know. But if I wasn't a single guy, I just don't know if I would have had the time to put into the first year I did this, you know. I might have put, shoot, 3,000 hours into it altogether. And that was, after a year, I had a channel that was making like $200 or $300 a month or something, you know. But if you're in that situation and you just got a little channel, give it time and keep at it, because it will continue to grow as long as you continue to put out videos. And it kind of seems to me that the algorithm is kind of set up to, if you put time into your channel constantly, it kind of seems to me like it, just to put it in layman's terms, it kind of seems like the algorithm, when I say algorithm, that's the formula, the code, and the mathematical deal that controls YouTube's decisions. It's YouTube's brain. It's almost like your channel starts feeding on itself, you know. So you got to keep feeding it, you know. And it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Like Mike the Scavenger, that channel, he just started just a while back, and I can imagine like people driving down the street and seeing him do what I'm doing right now, and what they might judge about him, you know, what they might think. And well, you know, he's a YouTuber that just got 2 million views on his first dumpster dive video. If he keeps up at it and keeps getting those levels of views, you know, even at 50,000, 100,000 a pop on his new videos, the guy's essentially going to be a millionaire if he keeps putting out videos. You know, so can you imagine someone getting off work, driving down the street, seeing Mike the Scavenger doing what I'm doing right now, and they think to themselves, God, look at that guy digging in the garbage, you know. Well, he has a potential of making more money than that person over the next 20 years. You know, if that person's making 50 grand a year, driving home from work, look at a poor guy digging in the trash. Oh, he's making this. After his 3rd year on YouTube, he's making $1 million a year. Oh, well, wait a second. I'm too busy yapping. Not bad. It's got some snags in it. It's a little wheel bag for maybe a laptop and whatnot. Just a dealie. Oh, it's actually aluminum, huh? No, it's just tin. If it was aluminum, I would snap it off there. But I'm actually gonna set this here like this, so you might want to see that. Used to be a scrapper live here. Used to have a big trailer. Not anymore. Oy. I saw something. There it is. What's that thing? Chunk of plastic. Shoot, you know, if you really want to make money scrapping metal, start your own scrap yard. If you happen to have a piece of land that's zoned for it, just have people bring you the scrap metal. Let's see. I'm sure those of you that watch my videos, you've probably heard me explain this enough times. It's kind of a weird deal with YouTube though. One person was like, would you stop explaining that? And comment below will say, can you explain that? I've never seen that before. Can you explain that? Well, do it the old-fashioned way then. Fortunately, it's a little cold out here, and I gotta pick up all that plastic. Anyways, there it is. Little motor. You could zap the aluminum off there if you wanted to. You could clean the copper out of there if you really wanted to. I imagine people that live up north might be interested in doing that sort of sit down scrapping, taking stuff apart. You know, if you live in Florida, you're probably not really interested in sitting in your shop or basement or house for 8 or 10 hours making a living. But if you live in Minnesota, Canada, Alaska, and you got 3 feet of snow outside your door, it might be a dream job for you, you know. Different strokes, different folks. You can look on YouTube, like when I mentioned, if you're new to this, when I mentioned taking apart that fan motor for copper, some transformers and motors just really aren't all that great to do that with. Some are, like that one there is not bad just because the shell is all aluminum. There's a good bit of copper in it. And there's a lot of people out there, I would imagine, if you got a shop set up with the equipment and stuff, you could probably develop a little assembly line where you could pop them transformers and motors open real fast. I mean, if you specialize in it, you know. It's just something I don't do, you know. It's not worth a whole lot for me to do it because I can just do other things. But like I say, I don't live in a place where I'm surrounded by Arctic weather for 6 months of the year, you know, so. And I just use those motors as an example. Now, if you got a little shop set up, there's all kinds of things you could do that I don't even know about, you know, that you don't even know about yet. If you take the time to, if you got the time to specialize in that kind of stuff, you know. Well, I didn't find a whole lot of stuff, so I'm gonna shut the camera off and go down to a big apartment complex. Sunglasses blew off my head. Ah, right in the middle of the road, they get run over. Sheesh. Going back to when I was talking about some people might live in an area where they can just clean house and make a bunch of money doing this, and some people might not live in an area where they can do that. There's also a third option there, I suppose. There's probably a whole nother section of people out there that live somewhere where they could do that and they think they can't. The only way to know for sure is if you scour every inch of your area, every crevice and every nook and every cranny. That's really the only way you can know, because I know I get comments from people saying where they live they can't find stuff, and I just find it hard to believe, because of what I see. Just I suppose I don't know. I mean, it could be true, but if you have scoured every nook and cranny of your area and tried to make contacts with all the people you run into along the way and whatnot, you know, anyway, so that's just a thought. Frying pan action. getting kind of dark out here. Spool of wire in there too. So that's just how it is, you know, like you gotta check 50 places how discouraging it is. You know, like this video is kind of a good example. And then all of a sudden it's just pow, you know. I could run out of a string of dumpsters that are this productive, you know, big chunks of aluminum and blender motors and a spool of wire. That's a wonderful find. If it's not coax, oh, I think it's coax, unfortunately. Coaxial cable is the cable that comes out of your wall to your cable television. It will be magnetic because it has a tin steel wire in it. It's hard to tell sometimes. You have to have a decent magnet. You could just go like this. Hopefully you can see this. You just see how it's just hanging there. It's just still. Sometimes the magnet really won't stick to it, but see if it moves. See how it moved? See that? Like if I just go like this, I can't really tell, you know? I can't really tell if I just go like that. Hi, Pooch. Hi, Pooch. You a Jack Russell?
Yeah.
You full of energy and stuff? Hi. Oh, it's okay. Oh, good dog. That's a good dog. Well, I wanted to be your friend. Right.
He's kind of
sorry.
First time you see him,
No, that's what a good dog does. That's what a good dog do.
That's how he gets real up that first time.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah. Anyways, that coax is not worth much. You might have a scrapyard where you live. I don't know. Well, they'll buy coaxial cable, but it won't be any more than like the tin price, if they even mess with it at all. I think it's just they have trouble processing it at the mills and down the road, and it's just one of those items I don't think people really want to mess with. All this stuff I was putting in there is also coax. I'm going to just throw it in with my tin. They don't mind, but I'll mess around with that big thing. I suppose I could. Yeah. Sometimes they'll take it at the yard and sometimes they won't, so I don't want to waste my time with that big thing. Oh shoot, did I check everything? No, I didn't. I just carried away with that dog. Looks like someone's whole kitchen might be in here. Nice big stainless steel. No, that's gonna have to go with tin shred. It's a low quality stainless. Where I live, when you hear me talk about categories of metal, that's just where I live. It'd be different where you live. It'd be similar. Anyway, hey, look at that right there. What do you think? A little flashlight. It's got the cords. It's also got an air compressor in it. I don't know if everybody can see that or not. It's not bad, really. for changing your tires. It would look like it's specialized for that. Never know what you get when you start yanking on a cord. That's a cast iron, cast aluminum lamp. It's nice. It's probably usable if you want. I just scrap it. Oh shoot, cooking pan. Got caught without my flashlight. Oh goodness, I almost drove away too. My goodness. In my editor, I can lighten the scene up a little bit. The video quality will diminish, but I'm not gonna not show you that. That's the good stuff. That's 8 pounds or so of number 2 insulated copper wire, so that is worth, I could probably get $4 for that chunk. But today's prices go up. You could be talking about an 8 to well, maybe $8, $7, something. Depends on where you live, I guess. Prices go up, things get more valuable. Tell me that's not an amazing piece of information that nobody knew. Little aluminum utility knife, little baby hand workout deal. Might be for like your fingers or something, I don't know. Some ankle weights, pretty nice. See if I can put this in more light, it'd probably be better. Gold's Gym ankle weights. So this video was starting to be kind of a fail, but I mean this is one little thing. I mean there's another wooden Everlast hand workout deal. Let's see if you get a good look at that. You know, just all of a sudden, just there it is, you know. Another Everlast workout device for your hands. I might actually have to come back through here tomorrow if I come this way. Way up here somewhere. Might have moved out. Landlord might have ditched somebody's stuff. I haven't checked this tote yet either. Look at this tote. It's got Xbox One boxes, Nintendo boxes, PS4 boxes. They're all empty. I don't know. Those boxes might be sellable themselves. Got all the packing materials and whatnot. I don't know. I'm not gonna mess with it though. It is kind of a nice tote though, so I'm gonna set that tote out here. Someone will probably snatch that up quick. 5-gallon restaurant sauce bucket. I think that's gonna do it. It's a pretty nice little bucket, really. restaurants will put like their pizza sauce and something like that. I would almost keep it for myself if I saw the lid. Anyways, I think you got the idea. Hope you like riding along with me. Hope you enjoyed this video. And as always, thanks for watching. Sorry about that grainy video there at the end. Hopefully you can see what was going on.